What's up, everyone? My name is Rad, and I am here today bringing you a guide on Heng. I'll be going over his traces, talent, technique, Eidolons, recommended light cones, relics, and team compositions. Something like that for team compositions, but you'll see what I mean. I'm going to make all of my character guides as concise as possible, so we're looking at hopefully under 10 minutes for each one, but some might just be a tad bit over the mark. He will be level 50 and Ascension 3 for this guide. Timestamps will be listed down below in the description. Quick thing, collectively we're close to hitting 250 subscribers, so if you've been enjoying the Honkai style content, do consider dropping me a sub only if you'd like. Also, quick shout out to everyone. The support on my Ting Young and Asta videos have been bonkers. Without further ado though, let's drop that transition. As always, it traces up first. Cloud Lancer Art North Wind. This is his basic attack. It deals wind damage equal to X amount of his attack to a singular enemy.
Commencing support.
Cloud Lancer Art Torrent. This is his skill. It deals wind damage equal to X amount of his attack to one enemy. Upon a crit hit, there is a 100% chance to apply a speed reduction of 12% to the target for 2 turns. Speed reduction is essentially the slow effect in Honkai Star Rail. Super good skill, makes it so the target actions get delayed, and also this skill hits like a truck due to the high attack it scales off of.
Commencing support.
Superiority of Reach. This is his talent. When Don Heng is the main target of an ally's ability, his next attack wind resistance penetration boosts by X amount. You can only trigger this after every 2 turns. This talent is great, but you need to make the enemies hit Don Heng while he has one of your party's units abilities on him. Prime example, M7 or March 7th. When she shields an ally who has 30% or more HP, they are likely to get targeted more. It doesn't necessarily have to be a shield, just an ability. So like Ting Young with her Soothing Melody skill, for example. The only con with his talent is that he doesn't self-support it himself. Will need another unit. Splitting Spearhead. This is his technique. Upon performing his technique, when you head into battle, his attack will be boosted by 40% for 3 turns. Basically pre-extra damage before heading to battle, which is really nice.
This will strengthen our position.
Seize the moment.
Abilities. Hidden Dragon. This is the Ascension 2 unlock. When his overall HP is 50% or lower, it reduces the chance of him getting attacked by enemy. I don't recommend unlocking this, otherwise it contradicts his talent. You want Don Heng to get attacked when he has an ally's ability on him to gain his wind resistance penetration buff, even if it's every 2 turns without his Eidolon. I still do not recommend leveling this or unlocking this. This is my personal recommendation, but you don't have to follow that. Faster than light, Ascension 4 unlock. After performing an attack, there is a 50% fixed chance to increase his own speed for 20% for 2 turns. Really nice because it'll advance his actions forward. High Gale, Ascension 6 unlock. His basic attacks will now deal 40% more damage to slow enemies. My recommendations for level up priorities are Cloud Lancer Art Torrent, yes, Ethereal Dream, and Superiority of Reach. So Don Heng's Eidolons are solid. They don't create a power spike for him. Understandable because he's already really good, but they do provide some nice quality of life for him. I'll be skipping over his E3 and E5 as they only add levels respectively to his skills. E1, the higher you fly, the harder you fall. When a selected enemy's HP is equal to or greater than 50%, Don Heng's crit rate increases by 12%. Solid passive, I'd say, especially for the beginning of battles. E2, Quell the Venom Octar, Quench the Vice of Flame. This will reduce his talent cooldown by 1 turn. If going for Eidolons, I recommend to stop here. This makes it so that you are able to gain his wind resistance penetration every other turn as opposed to every 2 turns. Super good Eidolon. I can't state that anymore. E4, Roaring Dragon. and Soaring Sun. Upon Dan Heng using his ultimate to defeat an enemy, his next performed action is advance forward by 100%. This is incredible as well. You'll be able to perform his actions much faster, and it's synergized as well with his E2. E6, the troubled soul lies in wait. Just adds another 10% slow to enemies who are hit by his skill. It makes it an overall 22% slow reduction. Light cones. Fun fact, hilariously, I somehow never noted these split tabs for the light cones on the left. But hey, we're here now. So Dan Heng is of the hunt path, and fortunately there's a good amount of them available on release. For 5 stars, I recommend In the Night. It increases his crit rate while he is in battle. For every 10 speed that is over 100, he'll gain a damage boost to his basic attack and skill, and the crit damage of his ultimate is increased. These effects can stack up to 6 times. Incredibly powerful cone overall. Next up, Cruising in the Stellar Sea. It'll increase his crit rate and additionally increases his crit rate against enemies with equal to or less than 50% of their HP. Also, upon defeating an enemy, it'll provide a damage boost for 2 turns. A bit less powerful than In the Night, but still very good and nonetheless. For 4 stars, I recommend Swordplay. For every time you hit the same target, the overall damage you deal increases. Can stack up to 5 times, though it will dissipate if you attack another target. Then, here we go. Because I have it unlocked. I'm like, wait. Only Silence Remains increases attack if there are 2 or fewer enemies present. It'll increase his crit rate as well. For 3 stars, honestly, any of them are great, super solid, I would say. Adversarial will provide an increase to his speed for 2 turns. Arrows will boost his crit rate for 3 turns. And a Darting Arrow, my personal favorite, will increase his attack for 3 turns. And if you get this at super in position 5, it goes up to 48%. So it's pretty solid, I would say. So for Relics, it'll be a quick section. I recommend a 4-piece Eagle of Twilight line. It'll increase his wind damage by 10. And after he uses his ultimate, his actions are advanced forward by 25%. You can also rock a 2+2 of Eagle of Twilight with Musketeer of Wild Wheat or Thief of Shooting Meteor. This right here, the break effect set, is super good. I think it's a bit underrated currently at the moment, but I think it's going to be really, I know it's really good. As for planner ornaments, I would recommend Space Seething Station. It'll increase his attack by 12% and another 12% when his speed is 120 or higher. Goes well with his kit, and it's easier to activate the second half of it too, because Dan Heng is all about speed and power. As for stats, here's what to look for. Primary stats on the body. You would prefer to have crit rate, attack percentage, or crit damage. On the feet, speed or attack percentage. On the planner sphere, attack percentage or elemental damage boost. And on the link rope, energy regeneration, attack percentage, or break effect percentage. Sub stats you are mainly look for are crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, or speed. Those are my recommendations. Now, with team compositions, the thing is you have at least 1 buffer for him at all times. To make the best use of his talent, which is essentially his wind resistance penetration, that is like huge because he's probably the only damage dealer, I want to say off the top of my head currently, at least from the hunt path, that has something currently available like that on release. And that's incredibly valuable because resistance penetration is just so good, especially on an individual like Dan Heng, because he just does an absurd amount of damage. So instead of showing the compositions, since everyone will have different units, I'll just list all of the buffers instead, and then you can fill out your team the way you want. I mean, I guess I'll show you some compositions here just to like you can get a little bit of a general idea, I suppose. But the buffers are Natasha, you can do Asta, you can also do Ting Young, Bailu, you can do Welt, as well. I don't have Bronya on this account, but Bronya is pretty good too. And if you do have Pella, Pella is great because she provides defense shred reduction. So it's just, it gets absurd. It gets kind of crazy, especially this combination right here. These three, things just get like absolutely absurd in my opinion. If you have Welt though, he's definitely great, if not the best, because Welt is all about slowing down enemies, and it meshes well with Dan Heng's ultimate and talent when it is up. Shout out as well to, I think I have her here, yep, M7. Like I stated earlier, the duo truly go hand in hand and shine together. Final thoughts. Dan Heng is an absolute beast. Not only does he provide a slow debuff to enemies, but his damage is out of this world. You'll literally see a chunk of a health bar just go down on bosses. Whether you're free to play, Dolphin, Whale, Leviathan, I highly recommend to level him up. He has long lasting staying power currently, especially in harder content such as Forgotten Hall or higher simulated universes or worlds. I forget what it's called, but yeah, 3 guides down, many more to come. Aiming for 1 per day, starting with the 4 stars so they are more accessible than 5 stars. If you'd like, drop me a like or a dislike. I'm always open to constructive criticism. My name is Rad. You're all awesome. See you later.